It fucking doesn't. Leave that shit dead, man. I stumbled across an article from comicbook.com where basically it says why Attack on Titan needs a sequel. Their article goes on to say that because the world is created already, all the world building and all that jazz, Isayama and his staff and a sequel can focus on the characters because a lot of fans weren't satisfied with certain character relationships or how their character arcs ended, and this gives Isayama a real opportunity to just focus on that and make it a really strong story while keeping the excitement of having the world of Titans and all the abilities that he can use with that. And that since fans already had to witness the Marley arc, which was a different perspective, a POV from a different set of characters, that fans are already ready for it. That if in the middle of a story you can switch to POVs, then definitely a new series should be, should really work. And that because of those reasons, Attack on Titan needs a sequel. Dude, what garbage. Man, I'm gonna go into why that article, and its arguments are entirely flawed, but Attack on Titan in general does not need a sequel. It baits it, right? Not in the original. When the story ended in chapter 139, whatever you thought of the ending, it ended there. It was a little bit open-ended, you don't know which way it's gonna go, but it ended. There was no sequel baiting, it was just Isayama's commentary in the world that fighting will always persist. Not an answer I necessarily like, not a conclusion I wanted him to show, but it is what it is. It was an ending. But with the extra volume and extra pages, we get to the real sequel baiting. Not anything that comicbook.com said, but we get to see a kid discover this giant tree that parallels Ymir finding a tree, showing that the curse of the Titans is not over yet, and that anything can happen. And, well, those extra pages were funny to see, the people who like the ending and their reaction. But man, those pages are also bad, man. One of my least favorite endings is when they just age all the characters and show them. Dude, so stupid, man. Why time skip endings? Oh my god, it's just bad. There's no. I don't think I've ever seen, or ever personally have ever been satisfied with something like that. But I digress. Let's get back on track. Isayama already had a chance to tell this story, right? I think the comicbook.com article isn't pretty flawed because the fact it says the excitement of the Titans and things like that, that wasn't what Attack on Titan was about. It wasn't about these giant action sequences. Yes, those were entertaining, especially when I got animated, but if the manga, the actual story, it wasn't about the big action. It really wasn't. This isn't Bleach, where you go entire, let's call it chapters with almost no dialogue because it was all focused on being cool and fighting each other with cool abilities. It wasn't about that. Isayama set up a world originally full of mystery, and the mystery is solved. You can't recreate that world, right? You can't recreate a mystery around the Titans again. But so we're going to have characters new characters figuring out a mystery that the reader already knows? No. And then if you have to create a new mystery, it's not going to be as strong because it's think of these horror movies, right? The first horror movie is usually going to be the best in a large franchise. But afterwards, everybody knows the game. And instead, people go in there not necessarily for the mystery, but instead the suspense. You can't, lightning doesn't strike twice. So in that regard, it's not going to be the same. So, as Attack on Titan progressed, and the mystery became less and less, it focused on the ideologies and the politics of the characters. Character relationships, the article got that right, wasn't the forefront of the story. But the reason that people liked the story, at least generally speaking, originally, it seemed there were a lot of shippers and other things by the end of the story, and I don't have any hard numbers. I don't know what populated what, how many of which were, but in general, if you're reading a story, it should be for the story. And so, it became about ideologies, politics. You had Armin and his view on the world, Eren and his, Zeke and his, and they were essentially all competing. And you have the Marlians and the Eldians, and it was just a clash of ideals. And that's how I expected a resolution, an answer to these questions that Sayama posed. And he didn't answer them. He basically said, I don't know, dude. It's really weird. Because Isayama's not going to come out and say, what he really thinks. But considering that all the Eldians, and or at least Paradise, got blown up afterwards, like 100 years later, or however many, I mean, to me, that's a justification for Eren to finish the remaining 100, people, right? Because what does it show? You leave a job half finished with 80%, and eventually the other 20% will come and destroy you. I mean, that's what the ending showed, right? Paradise gets destroyed. To me, that's an argument of like, if you're gonna go on genocide, might as well get the job done. I mean, that's like how I don't think that's a genocide bad ending. That just shows you the consequences of not fulfilling genocide. But again, digress. So what I'm trying to say is, there's really no point for Isayama to give another take and another themes or ideologies, because it doesn't really matter. He's just gonna. His answer for the previous series was, things are always going to be bad. It's cyclical. No one breaks the cycle. There really is no answer. The ideological thing, no answer. No political thing, no answer. It was a very safe ending. And the only reason an Attack on Titan 2 will be made is just straight up for money. Character relationships, no, dude. All the big reasons of why the first series was good had nothing to do with character relationships, and comic book gives them that. So trying to make another series based solely on the fact that you want to make character relationships the center front of this, it's just dumb. Why would you trust the guy who basically cut out Historia from the story? You realize that after the time skip, I don't think there's a single scene of Historia in the present day. It's literally all flashbacks and then flash forwards after Eren dies. Like, there is no present day Historia. She, like, literally a character where the Uprising arc centered around, even built up with the Ymir stuff beforehand, it immediately got written out. There's a reason a giant subset of people, had her with a strong relationship with Eren, because that was written in the story up to a certain point. You want to trust this person with writing great character arcs? No, it's going to be terrible. What? You're going to trust Mikasa, who was almost written out of the story in the sense that she had no character arcs the entire time until the last second, and she got pulled in. You want to trust this person? Well, second chances, man. The guy wrote an almost legendary story, a timeless story, up until the very end. There's a reason people were going around saying masterpiece, 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 and now they're getting made fun of. The fan base gets made fun of. It's because the story was really, really solidly written up to a certain point, You start Attack on Titan with no thing, there's not a lot of character strength early on, because it never was about that. And so you want to try and write another story where Titan fighting is I don't know, dude, the world is already out there, but now it's focused on no, it's stupid. What? Maybe it's because a spin-off anime, because somebody can watch mindlessly as they eat popcorn, like a fucking Transformers film, but this is not it. It's like those Game of Thrones spin-offs, man. Like Game of Thrones, the series lost what it was from the beginning. It was about politics and intrigue and characters all having a chance to win, and then it just became boobs, explosions, blood, gore, deaths, and just this normal cinematic experience. We just eat popcorn and turn off your brain. That's not what Game of Thrones was when it started. That's not what the books are. Attack on Titan wasn't this relationship shipping big action sequences too when it started. It was about humanity at the brink, mystery, how to, tragedy, this suspense of any time, any moment could be basically all of humanity can end. It was high suspense because every action had value. Every was almost over. Are you gonna recreate that? Like humanity on the brink again. This time they're fighting the Titans again. You can't, dude. It's gonna be bad. It is gonna be bad. you have to shut off your brain. You know, you have to shut off your brain for Dragon Ball Super. You have to turn off. I haven't read Boruto. I haven't even read Dragon Ball Super. I can't do it. All these sequels, Super, Boruto, Baron, whatever the Attack on Titan 3, 4, whatever. Dude, you have to shut off your brain to why there is even another series to it. It's at some point the story is supposed to be a glimpse into a world, not like, well, I'm gonna go for the next 50 years following a bunch of more blah blah blah. No, close the world, make a new world. But it's not, dude. I'm just saying, with that ending, with the extra pages, it sets up an ending, and oh my god, and people are gonna read. I will read on it. I will give it a chance. You know, because in general, I have spent a lot of time on Attack on Titan. But man, I will go in with like the most negative expectations, and I mean, I'm always hoping to be pleasantly surprised, but my emotional investment is gone. Attack on Titan in general was really hard to get emotionally invested from the beginning. If you're reading, right? The premise is really great, and dude, you watch the first anime episode, you're hooked immediately. Eren is sympathetic from the start. It's great. I'm in tears by the end of episode 1. But if you read the manga, which I've also done, and I think it's just a problem with manga in general. It's depending on the characters and the way it's written. It's sometimes really hard to get emotionally invested if a character isn't given enough time. And a lot of characters were not given the proper time. I mean, basically only Eren was characterized in a way to be sympathetic towards him in the beginning of the story. Because the series lasted a while, you were able to suddenly care about the characters Eren cared, or not care about the ones he didn't care, and it slowly stemmed over that until everybody was their own. Man, dude, I can't do I can't do a sequel. That's not even the question. It doesn't matter what I can do. Does Attack on Titan need a sequel? No, dude, no. I'm telling you, all you can do is just retread the same fucking shit you already did the first time. That is all that's gonna happen. What is it? It's called more human on human fights. It's like these endless zombie movies or zombie games. The humans are the real enemies the whole entire time. This is what ended up being Attack on Titan. People think making the humans the bad guys in every single thing is some sort of creative writing, when literally every single thing does it. You have humans versus aliens, but the end, it was the humans who were the villains the entire time. Dude, you have the monkeys versus the humans, but it was the humans who were the enemies the entire time. You have the humans living on Earth, but they were the enemies the entire time. You have humans versus Titans, and the humans were the enemies the entire time. Like, it's just the dumbest thing ever, dude. Like, every single thing these days is written as humanity bad. Bad humanity, bad. And every single time. And people were like, oh man, humanity bad. Big stars. Ooh, brilliant writing. Oh, I'm so smart. That's fucking... Dude, I just can't stand it. Like, as I'm supposed to, like, give the writing a good thing because you said humanity bad. And that's what Attack on Titan 2 is going to be. What are you going to do? Titans bad? No, Titans have been proven to be just humans. It's a pirate... But dude, it's just dumb. This is another Transformer situation. It's going to be endless. It's not about the action, man. It wasn't about the characters. So you make a series about the characters. Why does it have to be this world? Right? It's called, were the Titans that interesting that you have to put it back in the same world and have new characters? I don't think they were. Was it really, really that interesting using like a spinal fluid to turn other people into big monsters that eat other people? It's essentially like zombies, dude. But no, they're not really zombies. They're big Titans that grab you and you have to fight them. And some conventional warfare doesn't work. But the thing is, it's in the future now. They have stealth bombers. They stealth bombed Paradise. What are the Titans gonna do? Well, in this future world. And imagine bringing back characters. Imagine that Eren becomes the new, what do you call it, Ymir, and he now starts talking about, yo, nobody likes Eren. The people who liked Eren were like, they got shit shoved in their face and said, fuck you for liking Eren. And the people who didn't like Eren are gonna be like, oh sure, let me use Eren. Glad Eren's back. No, they're not. Nobody likes Eren anymore. It just, at most you're mad for him. It's called if you didn't like him before, but now like, yeah, Eren's back to normal. He was crying. It's got like a little baby. Dude, it's no. There is no good reason for an Attack on Titan 2. There is not a singular good reason. No mystery. You can't trust the Sayama with any ideological, political stuff anymore. And it's going to be the exact same thing because the story was written in a way for it to be that exact same thing with people who are different, especially towards the end. And how? No, I'm not even going to get into. Oh my god, there was some characters. Comicbook.com character relationships. Go read a shoujo romance and get your character relationships. Like, what? What? Oh my god. Dude. I do not want to see it. I do not want to see it. I do not want to see an Attack on Titan 2. It doesn't need it. There's no reason for it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. I know you guys want money, but if Isayama is as talented as he is, and all the haters are wrong, and they're crying because they didn't get the ending they want, and Isayama's a super genius, then he can write another story because he's a super genius. He can write another story that will be just as popular as Attack on Titan because he now has the super name brand of Isayama behind him, and Attack on Titan is a looming figure showing you that this is a man of creative genius who can write the most entertaining pieces of our generation. He can write another story. That's it. Honestly, don't tie Isayama down like what's it called, like you did the creator, it's called of Dragon Ball, and for the rest of his life working on Attack on Titan. It's dead. It is dead. It is creatively dead. There is nothing there. There's nothing to explore. You can't trust these people for any actual interesting writing. And that's it. What are you gonna trust? Like humans versus no, humans bad. Ooh, clap. Great writing, man. That's like it's like everything, man. Literally anything. It's oh my god. I've only seen the first season of Goblin Slayer, but what's it called? So I haven't read the manga. I don't know. But it'd be like taking that series, which I have now of a clear idea of what the guy's name is, Goblin Slayer. If somehow it came out, I mean, they already did show some scenes like that. I mean, it's pretty dark. But it came out that the humans were the bads, and the goblins were the real heroes the entire time. They're just being oppressed. Ah, god, dude. I'll do every series where there's like... Dude, it's funny enough, it's always any of these animes, too. Like, every writing, it's like, the humans are oppressing the elves, the humans are blah, blah, blah. Humans bad, humans bad. Great writing. So, I digress for the third time. Attack on Titan 2 does not need a sequel. Just don't do it. Thanks for listening. Follow on Twitter if you haven't. Subscribe. Oh my god. Fuck sequels, dude. I'll catch you guys later.